to a brand new series of Fifth Gear, the show with petrol running through its veins. We're kicking things off here in ultra-fashionable Croatia, where I've come to test a brand new Bentley. It's the 195-mile-an-hour Continental GTC. And if anything's going to make a splash around here, it's a deep pink Bentley with chrome wheels. Also, we scare ourselves witless in the most talked-about car of the year, the Range Rover Evoque.
Do I not like that?
And Johnny conducts the fastest crash test that we, or in fact anyone else in the world, has ever seen. But before all that, Tiff's doing what he does best, going frightfully fast.
We start with a legend, the Jaguar XJ220. Released in 1994, it cost £400,000 and had a top speed of 220 miles an hour. Back then, this was the fastest road car on the planet. It's the perfect benchmark for this, the brand new Jaguar XKR-S. With 550 horsepower, it's exactly as powerful as its famous uncle. So, I wonder if it can keep up.
Damn, we're away. It's neck and neck. I think I'm going to beat him to 62. He's edging. I'm foot to the floor. Now he's really on the way. The extra 400 kilos of weight I'm carrying is beginning to show. I'm reading 170, 180, 190, and he's well away.
So the first thing you need to know is that the XKR-S isn't as fast as a supercar icon, but it's unbelievably close.
The second thing you need to know is that it's seriously expensive. This XKR-S costs £100,000, and that's 20 grand more than the XKR. So how do they justify that?
Well, a sports exhaust, lowered suspension, and an extra 40 horsepower goes some way to explain it. But I reckon a big chunk of it goes on the seat.
It's an extraordinary chair which electronically adjusts, not just in the normal 2 or 3 ways, but in 16. I particularly like this little rib hugger. Ooh, yes.
But a £100,000 car should be a little frightening as well as comfy.
Now, whilst Jaguar have been producing wonderful luxury saloons and grand tourers for a long time now, what they always seem to lack is a car that can really handle well. And even the XKR rolls too much and spins all the power away in a cloud of smoke. Will the RS prove to be my sort of Jaguar? Well, there's a bit of smoke in the rear-view mirror, but nothing like as bad. The car was much stiffer, it pitched into the corner nicely. How will the roll be? No, it's staying flat, it's responsive. This is more me. You can get a bit too much one way, and it goes back the other way. It's still a little bit of a handful. I tell you what, you can forget this fancy seat. The improvement of the handling is worth 20 grand to me. Woohoo! Nice.
So the Jaguar XKR-S is worth every penny of its staggering price tag. But that's not the end. The XJ220 may have beaten it in a drag race, but I couldn't call myself a petrolhead if I didn't find out which is quickest over a lap. First up, the XJ220.
Start the clock now. It's got this 3.5-litre Metro turbo engine in the back. It gives a hell of a lot of punch. Cornering at 110 miles an hour. Boost comes in. Get the nose in, Tiff, but that back might want to step out at any minute. It doesn't. We're clear. The steering's heavy. We clip the curve one way and the other. Onto the runway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It wants to change ends. 140, 50. Now how late can I brake? The old girl fights. We're into 2 corners to go. Punch it, second, third. Head for the finish line.
The old girl finishes in 1 minute 13.4 seconds. Can the XKR-S possibly beat that?
Start the clock now. Great steering feel. The higher the speed, and the more comfortable the handling. Now don't get it too sideways, Tiff. No showboating. Keep it neat. Keep it neat. That's good. A little bit. That's good. Again. And far hurried over the curb and onto the straight.
1 minute 14.2. It's just 8/10 behind the iconic supercar that 17 years ago cost £400,000. Maybe the £100,000 price tag isn't so outrageous after all.
Next up, a team test, which is where we all get our hands dirty on some new metal, and this time we've got the most talked about car of the year.
Today's team test is the brand new Range Rover Evoque. Apparently the smallest, lightest and the most fuel-efficient Range Rover ever.
This is the first time I've ever seen this car in the flesh. I was so excited to lick, smell and touch the Evoque. Ooh!
I've never seen Vicky so excited.
Concept car looks on the street that you can buy, and that blows my head. The boys weren't quite so enthusiastic as me.
First of all, that's plastic.
Well, that's a plastic grille. Tiff stood back and was a bit more reserved. He is a harsh critic.
It's striking, but it's not pretty from every angle.
I was amazed at the TARDIS-like qualities of that car, because when you look at the profile, you think you have to be about that big to get in the back.
First things first, I'm 6'3". You got the seat set at normal setting. Look, I've got about 3 inches before it goes anywhere near the seat.
Amazing.
And I can sit bolt upright.
The interior wasn't quite as sumptuous as I'd have hoped, because I was thinking it might be a bit more luxurious like a Range Rover, but it was, you know, very nice and all fine.
For all you Chelsea tractorette parkers, you're going to need that camera, because rear vision for parking, it's not good, is it?
No.
To test the car, the main thing was to go off-road with it. Obviously, we had the four-wheel drive version. We had this third-generation Magna Ride, which has got faster damper activation, changing the compression, than the latest Ferrari.
Whoa.
The ride with that magnetic damping system.
What about logs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Just phenomenal.
We're going over some severe logs, and the ride is like beautiful.
It's getting a bit hard to find something not to like about this car, isn't it? Half throttle and just...
Ground clearance. Oh my God, what happens if you get stuck?
A little bit of power, a little bit of gentle power, gentle power.
It's not breaking a sweat. Vicky is.
Do I not like that?
I was in charge. There was never going to be any problem.
Straighten up the steering and...
All I can see is bracket.
I've got my feet off, I've got my feet off.
Ground clearance!
Has it got the sump car? Has it got the sump car on it?
We were so impressed with the car just driving it up and down the off-road course that we then got supremely confident and wanted to go and test it down the one-in-one slope. One-in-one!
Oh my word. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, it says helmets at all times. Health and safety.
Let's just have a breather.
I'm going to engage my hill descent.
Thank you very much.
Of course, Vicky and Johnny were in a right old state about driving over the cliff.
All I can see is about 2 feet in front of me, and then it drops down. Do you know that? How do you feel right now?
I don't feel as bad as going to the Tower of Terror at Disneyland.
What?
Yeah, I was scared. There's no doubt about it. You get that real horrible fluttery butterfly feeling.
It's a D. And we're going. And we're away.
When we finally took, as on those great water slide parks, the leap of faith where you can't see where you're going at all, it just tilted over the top and completely controlled the descent.
It didn't zoom down.
It just went down and broke each wheel individually and just did its thing.
Try hard to trust what the Range Rover people say and take these stupid bloody helmets off.
And at the end of driving it off-road, we took it quickly around the high-speed circuit here at Millbrook. What impressed me even more was the on-road handling at high speed was equally impressive.
Seriously impressed with this car. If you don't believe me, you need to go and drive one. Which is why I'm going to give it 2 sheets of paper. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
I really, really like this car. I'm going to give it a 9.
The new Land Rover Evoque. It's quirky, it's funky, it's going to be the must-have Chelsea tractorette, and I give it 9. It's a big 5th gear thumbs up, which gives the Range Rover Evoque a team test score of 27.5 out of 30.
The sensational Evoque has inspired our first competition prize of the series. We're giving away this top-notch third-generation Range Rover Vogue, the Evoque's big brother. With electric everything, leather everywhere and a bomb-proof 6-cylinder diesel engine, this 2003 model is a diamond. It's even got a heated steering wheel. To make running it as affordable as possible, we'll also throw in up to £1,000 towards your insurance, courtesy of elephant.co.uk. For your chance to win this beaut of a prize package, just answer the following question correctly. Which of the following describes a car with four-wheel drive? A, 1x1, B, 2x2, or C, 4x4? To enter, text A, B or C to 85559 or call 0904 1611 555. Or you can send your answer, name and phone number to 5th Gear 1, PO Box 7557, Derby, DE1, ONP. Calls cost £1.53 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary and from mobiles will cost considerably more. Text costs £1.50 plus one message at standard network rate. For rules, go to channel5.com/win. Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October and 3 days later for postal entries. Good luck.
Still to come, a £150,000 Bentley capable of nearly 200 miles an hour. And the fastest crash test the world has ever seen.
Oh my God!
To 5th Gear. Now, to my left is the latest version of one of the world's most luxurious convertibles. And to my right is the stunning scenery of super trendy Croatia. Let's go. Right now, Croatia is hot property, as Hollywood A-listers queue to park their yachts. Europe's mega-rich party on the islands dotted along the coast. It's the perfect place to test Bentley's all-new £150,000 Continental GTC. I didn't expect it to be pink, but I was pleasantly surprised. This mega glamorous beast is designed to make every trip a red carpet affair, and I definitely feel like a Hollywood A-lister, even at these low speeds. I particularly love the pink stitching. I'd like some clothes like that. But the Bentley isn't just for pootling around town. It's got a W12 engine in the front that needs to go walkies. I knew it was going to be fast. That engine is a belter, and with even more power and more torque, I was just delighted. Let me give you some numbers. 567 brake horsepower, 516 pound-foot of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, all of which are even better than before. And what do those figures feel like? Well, let's find out. So let's go from the off. It flew. And the power keeps it flying until 195 miles an hour. But speed freaks aren't Bentley's biggest customers. David Beckham, Rio Ferdinand, Nicholas Anelka, Ashley Cole, Jean Terry, Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, all footballers and all owners of the old shape Continental GT. So what has Bentley done this time to keep their cash-rich, ball-kicking fan base happy? It has jewelled headlamps encrusted with LED running lights, whopping 20-inch alloys with the option of even bigger split rims. It's got a 30-gigabyte hard drive for storing all those football chants, Google Maps on the sat-nav for you to keep an eye on your wags, and deep shag carpet for those fragile metatarsals. Now, from the outside, this may look like a tart's palace, but when you're going through corners like this, it is amazing how quickly it switches direction. On those fantastic hairpin roads that we found, the car behaved impeccably. Left, right, bang, bang. It was just on the money. It's a heaving great car, but it was so nimble. I was really impressed with it. Bentley has sharpened up the steering and rejigged the suspension, and they've done a cracking amazing job because this car is big. It weighs almost 2,500 kilograms, and yet it switches direction with the speed of a hot hatch, which is quite incredible. Okay, it doesn't have that intimacy and intricacy of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, but it's not bad. It's flush enough for footballers and plush enough for the Glitterati. And most importantly, it's got the performance package to please me. Would I change anything about this car? I wouldn't. It's not even the colour. And now over to Johnny, who's conducting one of our world-famous crash tests. And this one could be the most shocking smash we've ever filmed.
We've built a reputation for hard-hitting car crash tests. We've discovered that small modern cars are safer than big old ones. We witnessed the incredible strength of the humble smart car. We showed you why you should think twice about seven-seaters. And we demonstrated what happens when a convertible goes sunny side down. Today, we're adding another eye-opening chapter to our story of destructive research. You're going to witness the fastest car crash test that we, or anyone else in the world, has ever conducted. This Ford Focus here is going to go on a little day trip into this concrete block at 120 miles an hour. It's an extreme test that's equivalent to the worst scenario imaginable. Two cars colliding head-on whilst both travelling at 120 miles an hour. Crash Authority Euro NCAP conduct tests at up to 40 miles an hour. We're going 3 times faster, partly because modern cars can reach such speed, and partly because we're curious as to what would happen if a car was exposed to such enormous forces. At 120 miles an hour, our experts say that the deformation will be so great they're not prepared to use their expensive traditional crash test dummies. So as a result, we've got to use these guys. These are shop front mannequins. These will hopefully give an idea of what it might be like for a human to experience a head-on 120 mile an hour incident. These are yours, mate. There you go, love. As the car was wheeled into position, I had nothing else to do but watch on and wait. Even in a controlled environment, the thought of such an impact sent shivers down my spine. It's round about this time that I get quite nervous. The sound of an accident is just catastrophic, but these guys have never actually tested a car this fast. So this is like proper unknown territory. I'm going to go and find a really safe place to sit down and admire the view. A crash like this takes some serious engineering. The car will be propelled towards the wall by a winch with 15,000 pounds-feet of torque. That's the equivalent of 16 Bugatti Veyrons. With forces that great, attention to detail is vital. One loose nut and we could be sending a 120 mile an hour Focus into the middle of Nuneaton. Brace yourselves, these images are disturbing. Sensitive viewers and those with a dicky ticker might want to look away now. This is it. Oh my God! Listen to the echo. The Focus is obliterated on impact. Only the rear end escapes total destruction. And the passengers? Don't ask. God, the hairs on the back of my neck are sharp as nails. The car decelerates from 120 miles an hour to 0 in 68 milliseconds, with its occupants experiencing peaks of 400 G. The front end hits the wall with such force that the back end rises up 90 degrees and the car is slam dunked down onto its nose. Crash test expert Tony Payne talked me through the scale of this wreckage.
Absolutely mauled. Yes, you've got the vehicle crushed nearly all the way back to the B-pillar. You can see here, for an occupant in there, absolutely no survival space at all. There's the rear seat, and there's the steering wheel there, and literally it's been compressed between the front and rear seat down to that distance.
Goodness me. It's almost turned into a piece of modern art.
And if we go right round into the car itself, front seat's right in there, that's the instrumentation panel, and the person's literally in that area there.
I mean, I know it's all not real, but it's still mighty haunting. It is an extreme scenario, but modern family hatchbacks can reach the speeds we saw today. Maybe it'll make you think twice the next time you want to put your foot down.
Next time on Fifth Gear, Tiff and rally legend Mark Higgins do battle in the two hottest hatches of the year.
That was a bit frisky.
I spank a very special Ford Mustang around its spiritual home of Le Mans. And Johnny embarks on the journey of a lifetime in an unlikely hero of a car.
I'm like a mountain goat in this thing. And here's a reminder of our competition where you could win this superb 2003 Range Rover Vogue, as well as up to £1,000 towards your insurance, courtesy of elephant.co.uk. For your chance to win, just answer the following question correctly. Which of the following describes a car with four-wheel drive? A, 1x1, B, 2x2, or C, 4x4? Lines close at midday on Friday the 28th of October and 3 days later for postal entries. Good luck.
Gosh, that genuinely was really shocking, wasn't it? And the people that do actually need their cars to go that fast are here next tonight on Channel 5. The new series of Ultimate Police Interceptors continues in just a second.